Hello everybody, thank you for joining us on Crit It and Hit It. We're about to see our beautiful faces. Faces? My sound is currently turned on, yes.
Yep. Okay. Seems to happen every week.
Yeah. I haven't got the X. There's the X. Ta-da! Over Ed. Dun dun. Hello everybody, welcome to Crit It and Hit It, a live stream D&D game with 5 of your favourite people, except we decided to kill Daniel and eat him. We are now all cannibals. Tastes like chicken. Daniel is looking after his cat. Unfortunately, his cat. I've forgotten his cat's name.
I can't remember. Pusscat.
Sorry, Daniel, we forgot your cat's name. But yes, the cat was very old, very ill, and he's looking after them just now. All power to that. Got to do what you got to do. I've also had to recently look after my kid and everything. It's a whole thing. Streamer's work is never done. Today, with me, instead of Daniel and everyone, I have everyone and not Daniel. We have... God, I'm just seeing the names again, and I'm just about to call Kerry Amy. We have Kerry, Abby, and Laura. Everybody, would you like to say hi and introduce yourselves and your characters?
Hi, from Tabletop Crafter, and I'm playing Amy, the human Paladin.
Hi, I'm Abby from Trade and Tested, and I'm playing Anakis, the Tiefling Druid.
And I'm Laura from Dark Moon Dice, and I'm playing Eden, the Elven Warlock.
And I am Drew Murray from Master Tier Gaming, and I will be dungeon mastering today's session. Today is one that will be seeing the end of a particular story arc. This is the end of the second sort of main chunk. So we're going to see how the characters are reacting to the fallout of things that have happened somewhat recently. I will provide a quick recap. Abby will then provide the Bard's Tale, and then we'll carry on with the game from there. Do we have any announcements? I don't believe we do. We didn't discuss any. No?
Nope.
Cool. But just as a follow-on from last time, for anyone that tuned in, I have kept the Discord link in the title of this episode for people to go and visit, because we had a few technical hiccups and things last time that meant that I wasn't able to display it prominently. But it's still there now. We recommend you go and visit that Discord link. You can go and join in some games and just chat about gaming, and it's really cool. Anyway, Eden, Anakis, Amy, and Airden. All of them, after the whole incident with the crystal monolith and reforging it, moved on to Tharansari, the Elven city, and discovered that there were a great many things wrong with the royal family there. Eden's stomping ground seems to have been affected by both a dragon pretending to be one brother and a part demon other brother. Anakis was following leads to see if perhaps there was some connection between her origins and the origins of this demon. This demon who, called Lergas by the elven family, liked to go by the moniker Zagrel, inverting his name in typical demon fashion. He ran away with the Feyblade, something that Eden's mentor and patron wanted. He wanted this Feyblade, but the exact properties of the sword were unknown. Eden agreed to go and get the sword, but between Selendar's unusual behaviours and scheming behind the scenes, and Eden's willingness to sort of go on her own for a bit and see if she can grow into her own power, she has kept the Feyblade, but she has maintained her warlock powers, despite this rift growing between her and Selendar. I'm not saying that the relationship is severed, but it's certainly strained. Anakis, after the defeat of Zagrel, now has no leads to follow regarding her origins, and Amy experienced a strange event, something that ties into Brother Pippin person. Pirius, there we go. Brother Pirius found in the depths of the temple that they dove into. He said a few things that cast doubts onto not only Amy, but Eden as well, and both their characters. But then Amy exploded into some sort of angelic form in the fight with Zagrel. So it further leaves doubt onto what is going on with Amy and what her origins might be. And that is where we are picking up. Everyone is now on the surface. You have left the temple down below that the demons were digging down to. Bye-bye, phone. You have a clear sky. The day is dawning. And you are left alone in the wilderness. What do you do?
My go-to is breakfast, but that's not interesting, is it?
I feel like after everything that happened, we probably are like, I see it's been quite quiet and not, which doesn't help in a stream. But I feel like, there's like an aftermath going on. Like, at least for Amy, she's like kind of exhausted. She is a bit like fuzzy, and I think she's kind of using Chenniel to like kind of help her walk and keep her balance and things. So she's quite quiet, and we're all, something pretty big happened in terms of like the sword and that discussion, like what to do with it. So
I'm gonna cast. Okay, I can see that you're a little bit hurt, so I'm gonna cast. Does anybody need any healing?
Yes.
Do you need any, Eden?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I take any damage. I don't think I took any damage.
I think Dan did, didn't I?
Yeah, I think he did. But I think after the life sucking the zombies.
Okay.
I don't think I did. Well, I don't have any written down, so I'm going to go with no.
Okay.
I'm going to cast healing cure wounds at 2nd level.
Okay.
1d8 plus 2d8 plus 4 d8. What does a d8 look like? It looks like that. It's been a while since I've rolled. It's been too long. Wait, no, a week. Oh God, 9, 12 points of 12 points of healing.
12 points of damage.
No, 13 healings. 13.
I'll heal you with the tip of my sword.
Yeah, I just touched you slightly.
Xander, looking around at everyone, the fallout of what's just happened, will then look towards Eden. Pub?
Yes.
And he leads the march onto the
Gonna
nearest
go get
village.
Shit-faced. Yes!
It'll take you most of the day, but eventually you find your way to a small village. This is one populated mostly by halflings. There are occasional humans, but all the buildings were definitely made for people of a smaller stature, but somewhat accommodating. So doorways are about 5.5, maybe 6 feet high. So you might need to stoop a little bit. As you enter, there are no walls, but there's a sort of short picket fence around the entire town. There's farmlands to the north side near some hills, but immediately next to the picket fence there's just endless wild grasslands. The inside of the town, everything looks to be made out of wood and partially formed trees. So you've got planks and worked wood next to like half-formed, like the roots of trees being upturned and used as like the back end of a house, that sort of thing. So there's this cool little rustic vibe going on, lots of small flower beds. The tavern is identified by a large sign out front which has a picture of a loaf of bread crudely painted on it, a tankard of ale, and its name is the Rusty Pickaxe. As you're entering, a lot of the halflings travelling about are stopping, looking for a moment, and then sort of realising that they're staring, giving a curt smile and moving on. But it's happening a lot. They don't seem to get a lot of visitors here.
Can I do a perception just to see which one of us they're a bit unsure of?
Insight would probably be the most, because you're trying to like figure out someone's intentions and things. So yeah, go with insight.
15.
15. You can tell that for the most part it's Anakis and Xander that people have.
I would have assumed that.
Me too,
Yes.
but I just wanted to check.
Yeah. Everyone else, they're giving the usual sort of social graces to, and especially when it comes to Eden and Airden, they're giving little curtsies and bows towards. They recognise that you're definitely elves. You've just entered town. Tharansar is just a few days away, so you're most likely going to be someone important. They might not know exactly who you are, but they pay you your due respect. The tavern itself, the doors are held open. You can hear this raucous laughter and shouts coming from inside. The smell of tobacco smoke and stale ale just wafts out of there, along with a small amount of smoke from a roaring fire. And it smells like maybe there's a hog roast.
Drinks first?
Yeah. I would just like a natural juice water, I think. I don't think Anakis drinks.
I mean,
I don't think she does.
I don't think Amy does either. I think she would want some very sugary water, probably.
Yeah.
Well, looks like you guys will be leading the rest of us home then.
Yeah, Xander just rolls his eyes and pats Eden on the shoulder, sort of leading her in. Airden, as well, as he enters the bar, will sort of look at Amy and Anakis, roll his eyes, shake his head, and go in.
I follow.
Yeah. Inside, you see a very work-weary tavern keep. He is rushing back and forth. He is trying to make sure that everyone's drinks are filled and that everyone's happy. You see that there's a few barmaids milling about the place, serving drinks. There's a mezzanine level looking down onto the main area where there's a fire pit in the centre, rounded off by brick. The fire pit does have a spit close to it, but not set into the flames. The hog roast seems to have been cooked previously, and then the fire stoked into this roaring blaze. There's someone strumming on a lute up on the mezzanine level, singing a tune that no one's paying attention to. There's a few people set on the small tables up on the mezzanine level, but most of the action's happening down near the bar. There are arm wrestles taking place on tables, met by uproarious laughter. There's a group of dwarves in the corner that are arguing over a map with daggers stabbed into the table and occasional tankards being used to batter each other over the head before a quick swig. And there are some people sat by the bar in a row, very neat, not talking to anyone, and just quietly sipping from small wooden tumblers. There are 4 of them in total. They're all wearing brown tunic cloaks.
I'm going to go stand next to the one on the left.
I want you to go arm wrestle somebody.
Me, I'm not strong.
Did you
I have
carry...
a strength modifier of 0.
Oh, how did you carry Xander then?
I can have a go. I think I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, okay. Okay. It was like, who's the strong one? Someone has to win an arm wrestling competition.
Oh, yeah, it's Amy.
There you go.
Amy the Paladin. Of course. Yeah, I'm going to go stand next to the cloaked dudes.
Okay, if Anakis is going towards the cloaked dudes, what's Eden doing?
Drinking.
Eden's going to be drinking, and Amy?
Drinking.
I think just probably finding somewhere to sit with Chenniel. She's quite, I think, she's still like, like happy and smiling, but she's just a bit more subdued than normal.
I think Airden sort of feeling the loss of his bugs, and just a general sort of not quite shell shock, but that sort of stress going on. He's going to join Amy and Chenniel at their table and sort of impose slightly on their company. We'll deal with Anakis first.
I'm going to go sit down on the left, the guy on the left.
Okay, that'll be you squeezing pretty much into the corner, so to the left of you there'll just be a wall, and then this guy to your
what
right.
What about the other side?
Yeah,
the guy on the right.
Yeah, that's sort of more towards the crowd area, but you're still next to these quiet people.
Okay, I'm going to go sit to the guy on the right then.
Okay.
I just want to try and get a judge of them. Have they got any emblems on them or anything?
Give me a perception check. Let's see what you see.
Oh gosh, right. Come on.
Are they
maybe.
humans? Or are they halflings?
Yeah, that's what I want to do, a perception.
They're taller than halflings.
Oh, nice. 18.
18. These are elves, with the exception of one that is human. One of them you recognise as Taneris.
Tinnitus!
Taneris, the elven druid.
I just sort of... Is he sat next to me, or is he... Which one is he?
He'll be the one that you're sat immediately next to.
I turn and I look at him, and I tap him on the shoulder.
He'll turn.
Hi!
Anakis,
What are you doing here?
I am partaking in this beverage.
Where have you been?
Around.
Where?
North.
Where north?
He looks to the others, who don't even look and acknowledge, and they just slowly raise their cups to drink. Join us, Anakis. He then snaps his fingers, and the barkeep takes about a minute, but then eventually gets to them. Gets out another wooden tumbler, sets it before you, and fills it with this brown water. It's got a few things floating in it. Not moving things. But according to Taneris, it's a herbal drink. While Anakis is examining this drink, Eden. Is there Abby back? Okay, so you've got this drink. Taneris will then, while he's taking drinks, sort of say, looking away from you, almost as if he's doing this as an aside to not attract attention. There are foul things afoot.
What sort of foul things?
There is a darkness approaching from down below. I believe that there is a cult of death that is trying to resurrect a leader of theirs.
What's the cult's name called? What's it called?
As with all of these things, they go by a few monikers. They're calling themselves Cult of the Blood Queen, for the most part. Followers of this Queen Ayala.
Right.
We haven't found much in our own writings on her, but we hear tell that down south there are some writings on such a woman. We're here on a research mission. We're trying to find out more and see if we can stop her.
Right. Okay.
And what of your
What did you
journeys?
find? I was just going to ask you, what have you found out? I know it's limited, but what have you found out so far?
That the cult seeks to infiltrate organizations. Perhaps even reach into the echelons of nobility in the area. This is why we as druids do not mingle with such things. We are above such infiltration.
Yes. Oh, fuck a duck. Yeah. And where are you going next?
We hope to travel on to Tharansari. We hear tell that while Merca Edel is moving north, his brother should provide some information.
Ah, yes, his brother.
Yes. Alerical. He should be of some use. He has access to a vast library, I understand.
And what do you hope to find out there?
I hope to discover where the cult came from, and by tracking down their origins, finding some members. If we could grab a hold of even just a single cult member, we should be able to discern more about their organization. Maybe even bring it down.
Right, okay. When do you intend to go to Tharansari?
We've stopped here for a few days. We plan to rest for a few more, and then make our way. We decided that travelling the long route on foot... Oops. Can you still hear us?
No, don't go.
Quick, play a song, Johnny! Are you okay, Abby?
Hi.
Hi.
I went to mute it and pushed it off the table. Sorry. It's the wrong way round now. Oh my gosh.
Daenerys.
No! Someone take over. Someone do.
Oh.
Someone!
Alright. Daenerys will be telling you all this while Eden is going and investigating... I should have written this down. I've forgotten entirely what you said you were going to investigate. Drinking. That was it.
Drinking.
Ale. So you get approached by Ogbert the Tavern Keeper. He's a thin, wiry man, got a bit of a comb-over going on, but he seems to be quite young. He's certainly human, rather than halfling. He's stooping a lot, and he's sort of developed a bit of a hunch because of it. Hello there, good masters. How can I help?
2 of everything.
Everything?
Everything. Every kind of alcohol you have.
Coming from a weary journey, have we? He says as he's gathering supplies.
Yeah.
We've got a few travellers. Yeah, you might notice the cloaked figures over there. They've been staying with us for a few days. These pouring some syrupy mixture into a small tumbler. Yes, I understand the wizards of some sort. I didn't quite get the details. The dwarves over there are miners arguing about where they're going to set up a small outpost. I didn't know they still built those. Yes, we've got a farming community in from nearby. The local farmers come in here fairly regularly, but we don't normally have a crowd as raucous as this. It seems that I was remiss in getting ready for the harvest celebrations, and so I'm a little underprepared. I do apologize, but we do have more farmers in than normal. I apologize for the smell.
That explains it. No, not to worry.
So where is it that you've been travelling from? Elves travelling this far north? It seems to be a bit of a rarity, unless you're travelling to one of the bigger cities.
Just around, seeing the sights with some of my friends. Just taking a tour.
If I may offer a suggestion, if you are just a traveller, then the bard up there, his name is Osborne Bowthorngage the Second, I understand. He's from a lineage of travellers himself. They know all the local sites, and even the quick and secret paths that no one dares tread. If you're looking to continue your travels, I recommend having a word with that fellow.
That's incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Yes. So your travels, you say you're travelling with friends. You don't happen to be with those horned fellows, are you?
Which, that one? The girl one or the boy one?
Well, they
I'm with both of them.
At the same time.
Yeah, I'm with both of them.
Yes. We've not had one of them spring up here for about 100 years or so. Certainly a bit of a new sight for some folk.
Explains why people were looking at them.
Yes. The only person like that we have here is old Mother Harris. She lives on the outskirts of town, doesn't come in here often. But yes, people don't get to see her very, very much. The children are a bit scared of her home.
Is she usually at home, though?
Oh, yes, she stays there most of her days. A bit of a spinster, if you don't mind my saying so. She's taken to a more solitary lifestyle. She comes into town and occasionally trades some wares. She shears goats, I understand.
And she's north of the town?
Yes, she's just on the outskirts, near Farmer Smith's place.
Have you met her before?
Once as a child, I did approach her house during the harvest season, in fact. I wonder how I've managed to forget the time of year that it is. I guess I've just been so busy with everything, what with the army coming through not so long ago and all that. But yes, I visited her once as a child, and I was terrified out of my wits.
The army that you mentioned, about how long ago was that, roughly?
Oh, it must be a fortnight or perhaps 3 weeks ago. It's certainly not been a whole moon cycle, so I'd imagine it's somewhere along that line. They were heading north somewhere, something about some crystal or some other thing. They had a prince with them too.
So I hear.
Yes, odd fellow. Stank a bit. I didn't want to say. But yes, he's certainly a very abrupt fellow.
Yeah, some of the brothers are a bit strange.
Yes. Oh, my goodness, I've just been speaking quite out of turn, haven't I? I did not mean to offend a prince of the realm. Excuse me, I have other customers to be serving. I'm just losing my mind today. Good day.
Do I get like a tray? Can I just I want to bring the whole tray over to the table.
Egret, a raven-haired, pale-skinned, half-elven lady, comes over with a tray. She starts placing the drinks slowly onto the tray, giving you a sly smile and a wink as she does so. And while she's piling all these drinks up, you realise that you really do have 2 of every drink. You have lots of syrupy liqueurs. You have about a dozen tankards filled with different types of ale. You've got 1 tumbler of what you think or hope is just water. It's a little bit murky. And you've also got 2 goblets with wine. It seems to be the only wine that they have in the town.
All right, excellent. I want to start with 1 before I go to the table. Okay, maybe two. Just a quick 2. Quick 2.
As you down these drinks and head towards your table, we shall transition to Amy for a moment and catch up with her. So you've been sat at the table with Chenniel and Airden. They've just been sat at the table silently staring in different directions. Chenniel oblivious to the fact that there's any social niceties to be had, and he's just pleasantly sat there enjoying himself being quiet, whereas Airden is quite uncomfortable, shifting around a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really know what she would be saying. You've left her with Airden, who, I presume, from sort of where we left off, he was a little bit kind of funny about Amy after what happened, so kind of guessing there's a little bit of, discomfort there. Yeah, okay.
You can just describe that Amy also sits there saying nothing. That's also a...
Yeah. I don't know whether to leave it until everyone's there or not. I'll just sort of turn to Chenniel and very quietly just say, my head's fuzzy. I'm sorry, I'm not great company right now.
I'm finding the company very pleasant. Is there something I'm doing wrong?
No. What happened? I don't know. No, it's not you. It's maybe I just need to sleep, I think.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean cast sleep on me. Don't cast sleep on me. Cast sleep on me. Oh.
A transformation such as that can be quite draining on a body.
What? What transformation? What happened? Look, to be honest, I didn't want to talk to the others because I don't want them to think I'm weird or whatever. But 1 minute I was getting up off the floor after he'd made me kneel, and the next I was well, and then blushing heavily.
Are you referring to our romantic embrace?
Yeah.
A memory lapse is certainly understandable under such stressful situations.
But what? I don't even know what happened. I can't.
This is perhaps not the theatre to go into it, but I will assure you, it's nothing to be overly concerned about. It's something that may become a more frequent occurrence if you exercise your abilities. If you choose not to, it may atrophy. It is entirely your choice. Perhaps
I totally thought he meant the kissing. I was like, yes! Sorry. I got really excited. Means the angel thing.
Yes, he'll catch himself sort of being drawn into talking about it after mentioning that it's not quite the space. He'll look around, and then lean in close. Perhaps if we were to take a watch tonight.
Yeah. If you think, yeah, I mean,
In the interest of security.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. It'd be good to, if you, to find out what happened. You seem to know about things, so.
I'm just seeing how we I would like to transition back in like keeping things even back to Abby in a moment, but I think because of the proximity of Eden and Amy, I think I want to establish, is Eden bringing these drinks to the same table, and is everyone going to sit around the same table, or are Eden and Xander grabbing a separate table?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to take, like, drinks to Amy and Chenniel, but not sit with them.
Okay.
It kind of looks that they need a...
With Airden there. Him and Airden.
A moment with Airden. Look, I'm not judging. I'm just...
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you managed to find yourselves a table. A couple of halflings get up from a table near to where Amy, Chenniel, and Airden are sat. Look like they're about to leave. Take the seats again, which frustrates Xander. Throws his hands up in exasperation. They maintain eye contact and conversation. Then they get up again as if they're going, and Xander just sits down harshly in one of the stools. And as the two halflings look like they're about to take those seats again, they realise that Xander's sat in it. Look at him rudely, as if he's just done something very offensive, and storm out of the bar. We shall...
Making friends?
We shall settle with the fallout of that in a moment, but Abby... so you're...
I won't knock it off again, I promise.
So yeah, Daenerys was explaining to you about the cult, how he feels that they've infiltrated things down south. He's been up north, he's going to travel down to Tharon Sari in the next few days. And that he thinks the cult are looking to resurrect the Queen, Hyala, the Queen of Blood.
Obviously, I know that Dan's tapping her. That sounds really wrong. Not in that way.
Dan's tapping that.
Dan's tapping that blood queen. Okay. Do you not think it would be useful to maybe concentrate your efforts elsewhere? I've heard on the grapevine that nothing's going to happen. I've heard about this myth of the Queen Ayala, or whatever she's called, and I didn't think it was much of a threat.
It's something that the Order is taking very seriously. If you were to maintain relations with the Order as a Druid, you would perhaps gain access to more of this information. I understand your reasons for distancing yourself, but the Hierophant certainly could use more feet on the ground.
I just don't feel like I don't know. I don't feel like I can commune with the Order again. Not anytime soon, anyway.
The other three druids, they cast a sly glance, finish their drinks, set them down harshly on the bar, and leave. Daenerys gives them a look as they leave. There are some in the Order that take your secondment personally. I don't find myself with them.
I was rushed out so quickly that I didn't. I was rushed out from my home so quickly. I feel disconnected from it. I don't feel like I have any connection with home anymore. I don't have a home. I don't know.
Yes.
I know I need to get in touch with the Order, and I need to go to them and see them, but I just feel like I'll be shunned out. Like I've sort of distanced myself from them.
They would certainly put you to task were you to try and rejoin. You need to find a circle that will accept you. Someone
I
to
know.
have your back.
I know. I've just been a bit busy, that's all.
I understand. I have had the occasional spy operating on my behalf. I have been keeping an eye on you since we met at the Citadel of Uril. It seems that the company you keep has become your circle. You've been quite a few trials that you've been through with them.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't follow what was happening once you left the city of Tharansari down below.
Nothing much.
At any rate, I plan on paying a small visit to someone on the edge of town. Perhaps you would like to accompany me.
Who is this person?
A contact. Someone who has operated with the Order in the past. Someone who maintains relations with us. She has some information that we want about the Death Cult. I think she may be someone that would be worth meeting for you.
Okay. Okay.
I shall come and fetch
That
you
sounds
when
good.
the light begins to fail. For now, I will go and commune with my circle.
Okay.
He finishes his drink, sets it down, out the front of this establishment when the sun goes down.
All right.
And he leaves. Where would Anakis go now? Does she stay at the bar on her own?
Yeah,
Okay.
she would. I think she needs some time just to contemplate, just 5 or 10 minutes, and then she'll go join the others. Yeah.
Alright.
Given all that information that she's like, where the hell do I stand? What? Yeah. I mean, she knows she's been doing wrong all the time, but she's a bit, she's just going to sit.
Xander, sat opposite Eden at their table, has been staring at Airden the whole time as he downs drinks and slams them on the table, which Airden has seen as a direct challenge. And Airden has spoken to one of the barmaids, had her bring over some drinks for him, and so now Amy and Chenniel's table is just littered with drinks that Airden is downing, shot for shot, matching Xander.
Would you like me to leave you two alone? You.
What? No, I'm here for your good company, Eden.
Is this because he took your daggers?
No one touches my daggers. They're my daggers.
You gave them to him.
He was very...
Bossy?
Yes. Bossy. I I gave him my daggers to just shut him up. He's got a grating voice, don't you find?
Why don't you like him?
Someone like that just gets on my nerves. Ew.
Isn't he
I'm an elf.
a lot like you, though?
We're nothing alike.
Are you, I mean, except for, him being an elf, and rather than that.
Guys like him, it's not just the fact that he's an elf, just guys like him. They're all style and no substance. All flash and no bang.
You sound jealous.
So why did you leave Tharansari? You had a very comfortable life there.
Work, mostly.
I'm really bothered by the fact that all of these brothers seem to have something wrong with them. I know one of them's your fiancé. Just something wrong with people like that, They're so removed from everyone else. They think they're so above everyone else. And look at him, and he points to Airden again. Look, people like him, just look at that smug look on his face.
Okay, let's talk about Airden. Let's talk about Airden. It's so is it his face?
Face, his clothes. Look at those fat...
You have a face and clothes. Your face and clothes are just as nice as his face and clothes.
Thank you.
Probably nicer if you ask me, but don't tell him I said that.
I'm just out of shape. I haven't gone on a good, proper hunt in a while. I need to get a thing.
We just killed the...
I know, but there's something different with knowing your prey. Like really figuring them out, working them out, trying to get inside their head, knowing what makes them tick, being able to use that to your advantage to push and pull their movements to get them right where you want them, and then you sink the dagger. Literally, in my case. There's just a purity to it, the thrill of the hunt. I didn't have any of that with this Sigrel. He eluded me too much. There's too much I didn't know about him. Too much I still don't know. I need to know a person inside and out. The kinds of people who could walk into a room and just figure everyone out. I wish I had that kind of skill.
Well, it takes a whole lot less talking and a whole lot more listening.
Why would that be beneficial?
When you watch people speak and how they move, and that's how you learn about them before you ever start talking to them. It's how you get people to like you and trust you, so they tell you things that they wouldn't normally tell you. And those are the things that you gather in case you ever have to use it against them. It's like a hunt, but more delicate. It involves a lot more patience and tempering yourself. It's a longer game. And a game that always doesn't end in murder, but
I think you and I need more drinks, and we need a longer conversation.
I think you're right.
Xander gets up, goes to the bar to go and get some more drinks. In the meantime, we shall transition back over to the table with Amy, Chenniel, and Airden. Airden has been slamming drinks down onto the table. I mean, just look at him. He's over there in his fancy duds, and it's just, oh, I hate that guy. I mean, Amy, don't you hate that guy? Everyone hates that guy. Everyone, except for Eden. Eden likes that guy. Everyone hates that guy.
I don't hate him. I don't hate anyone. Everyone has a positive about them. It's okay. We just need to help him find the light, and then it'll be fine. He's just...
Well, that's a good point. Ever since I bumped into you back in the Summergleam, who even are you? I know I like hunting things. Eden is Eden. Oh, they're Eden's Eden. Anakis is there with all this mysterious power and able to do all these amazing things and make trees and all sorts. But you, what's with the wings, Amy?
You lost me. I would shoot a glance at Chenniel. Chenniel had wings. He flew as. I don't know why you're asking me though.
Chenniel, what's with the wings? Chenniel gives you a worried look for a moment. It's a fashion choice.
I laugh. That's kind of like unexpected comedy from Chenniel.
I know that Simon guy, he's his own thing, and I appreciate a job well done. But we've been chasing after demons and whatnot, and now Eden's got this cool sword, and I like
it helps. I wish I had a cool sword too.
I want my bugs. Those bugs were cool.
Well, maybe you should talk to Anakis. She might be able to help you help you with bugs. She can talk to creatures.
Anakis! Yes! And he stands up, wobbles a little, kicks his stool up from under him, which then keels over, and stumbles towards Anakis. Anakis!
Hello.
Chenniel and Amy are left at the table for a little while, so before we jump back over to Abby, Amy and Chenniel have a moment just to themselves, while the roar of the bar goes on around them.
I just turn and look at him. What? I've never seen him like that before.
He does seem to be a different person with a drink in him.
So I tend to avoid it.
I do
stay me, you know?
I do find it very confusing why mortal beings choose to poison themselves just to have an altered state of perception.
They seem happy though. I mean, look at Airden and Xander. They seem happy and they're drinking.
I have heard that alcohol has an effect of lowering inhibitions.
I mean, we could try and see what all the fuss is about.
I am here for longer than I anticipated. I was hoping to simply spread the warning to you and return home, but seeing as I'm here, I may as well return with as many experiences as I can. I will go and order us 2 alcohols.
Okay.
He gets up and moves towards the bar to go and order you some drinks. Airden has staggered over to Anakis. We'll transition back to Abby for a moment. We'll say before Airden stumbles over, when we transition back to you just now, you'll have a moment or two to just reflect on things. You've got a moment's peace. Is there anything that you want to say or do before Airden comes over and ruins the mood?
No, I think I need to speak to the sober members of the party once I've dealt with Ed and
Anakis!
He can come and chat, it's fine.
Anakis.
Oh, hello. You've had a bit too much, haven't you?
I've barely begun.
Oh, wait,
He
right.
casts Stink Eye at Xander for a moment. Who are you? Right. Anakis.
He's not that bad, you know.
He's just with the...
Aye.
And the... just...
You just need to have a sit down and a chat. That's all you need to do. You've got all this pent-up masculinity energy, the pair of you, and you just need to sit down and have a chat. That's all you need to do.
Nothing wrong with my energy. I liked the bugs. Amy said
The bugs.
to, because you're a bug lady.
More of an animal lady myself, not necessarily a bug lady, but an animal lady.
Can you make them do the thing? They and I can and
Probably not. I mean, I can try and talk to some bugs, but that might be about it. But I can see if they know where your bugs have gone, if you like.
It's fine. I'm gonna go and see if I can beat him. And he points at Eden. That guy.
I mean, that's Eden, who is a girl. So that might not be a good idea because I think she might kick your ass.
I mean, one of them was bound to be Xander.
I think what you need to do is sleep. I think that's what you need to do. I think we need to find you a bedroom, and we need to find you a bed, and you need to sleep.
Anakis, you wound me. I'm ready to take on the world. We should go and take on the world. Yeah, Anakis and Airden. Yeah, we could have a bard follow us around and give us a theme song, and it would be great. Just an elf and a demon, and it would be like Airden and Xander, but better.
I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration on Airden.
It'll be amazing, and
He needs to sober the hell up.
I've lost my train of thought. Anakis, where was I?
I don't know. You were talking about how much you quite like Xander now, how he's sort of piqued your interest a little bit, you might even want to go and have a talk with him. You know, man to man.
I think I'm gonna go and learn a new game from these halflings instead. Yeah. Thanks, Anakis, but
Why don't you see if... Okay.
he wanders around the bar, looking at a few tables where there's like a few hands of dominoes and cards being played at various tables, and he goes and sits down next to a table where they're playing Nine Men's Morris, and he's there to go and pick up the rules of the game.
Excellent. And I'm just going to keep an eye on him. Make sure he's not causing any trouble.
Okay. The sun
And then I'm going to go sit with Amy or Eden. Are you both at different tables? Or Amy, you're with Chenniel, and Eden, you're with Xander. I'm going to go sit with... Do Amy and Chenniel look like they're in deep conversation, or is it a bit awkward?
Chenniel's at the bar, I think.
yeah, well, that's a good point. Chenniel's gone up to the bar, so Amy will be on a Todd at the moment.
Okay, I'm going to go sit with Amy.
All right.
And I'm just gonna tell her I think that I need to go out this evening because Tinnitus is here.
Oh, that's a pleasant surprise.
Well, it's not because he's after Ayala.
Well, I mean, we're kind of looking for her too. I mean, you want that sword, right?
We do. I mean, we could I basically tell Amy what Tinnitus wants to do with his order.
And he wants to meet you tonight.
He does. I think I'm going to go. I've just felt very disconnected from any druidic thing recently, and I need to make an effort. I've not been making an effort, and I need to. So I think I'm going to go and see what he has to offer along with this person.
Well,
I assume it's old Mrs. Harris.
I think it's important for you to keep your druid bonds. Do you think you need to go on your own, or would you like us to come with you? I mean, I could do with a rest, but if you need us.
No, I think I should be alright. I think I might take Airden if I'm honest. I don't know if that's a good idea though, but I think it would be. I don't know. I need to think.
Airden is nosy. I mean, I love him. He's great, like best friends. But if you wanted to keep things private, honestly, he's probably not the one to take. But I mean, do you think you're going to be going far or just around here?
No.
If you're going far, then maybe we should all go. But
I think it's just be around here.
I
think it might be worth us all going if I'm honest, but if we need a rest, I don't know how long we're going to be.
You could.
That's the thing.
Why don't you meet him tonight, and then see what he says, and if you need us, you could send Nukin to us, and he could come and get us or something. If it's just a chat, then,
That's true.
I mean, me and Chenniel kind of made some slight plans, but like they're not set in stone or anything.
Oh, have you now? Right, okay. I'll leave you two to it then, shall I?
No, it's fine.
That's me doing that, not Anakis.
I think it sounds like a good idea, and plus we need leads on this Blood Queen woman, and if you can get that, I mean, it seems like he probably trusts you on your own anyway more. So I mean, as long as you stay safe.
Okay. I'll go tonight, and if anything occurs, I'll send Nutkin.
Chenniel will return at this point with 4 beverages. When I tried asking for an alcohol, I was presented with a great many choices. I couldn't remember the other name for it. I think it was ethanoic acid, but it smelled too much like vinegar, so I also got rum.
Okay, I mean...
Starting hard. Starting hard.
Is it all this... she would know, I don't want to... Like, is it all this rum? Is it all rum, or have you got, like, 4 different drinks?
So he's got 2 rums for you and 2 ethanoic acids, which is
Vinegar.
Vinegar, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Let's maybe not drink the vinegar. Just try the other one.
It looks the same.
Yeah, I've tried vinegar before. Not my thing. I mean, try it. Good. By all means, you're here to try new things, right?
As he sniffs it and puts it to his lips and downs it, over on Airden and Xander's table, you just hear this "oh" sound from the table behind you, where Amy and Chenniel are sat, along with Anakis, while Xander is deep in conversation with Airden, trying to learn more about stalking prey in a more social environment rather than in open field or woodland. So, if I understand correctly, you're saying that rather than silently stalking them from a hide, I should stand where they can see me and just listen to them.
Yeah, sometimes it's even more fun that way because they don't know that you're doing it. So that when you finally surprise them, and I tell you, there's a whole lot more ways that you can like ruin somebody than killing them, or like there's a lot more things that you can do that are bad to someone that is not just killing them. You can like destroy their lives, and that's worse. I mean, because death is pretty quick. Not everyone just deserves death like real quick like that. So there's other things that you can do, and it's almost better because then you get to watch that. And it lasts longer than people die. That sounds bad, doesn't it?
No.
It's work. It's a job. Is
this what we're planning on doing to that dragon brother?
Murka. I don't know. I don't know him very well. He's not like... I don't know. He's not like Eric, but he's not like Zagrel, but he's not him, is he? He's a dragon now, so I don't even know what. But that's why you wait and you go slowly and you try and figure it out, and you get to know them, and then you use it against them. And then when you find their weaknesses, then you exploit them. That's what I do.
How do we find the weaknesses of a dragon?
Well, he doesn't know that we know. So we are already one step ahead of him. And when they don't know that you know, then you pretend like you don't know. And then they think that you don't know, or they think that you're stupid. And when they think you're stupid, that's the best. This is the best when they think you're stupid. And when they think...
This is totally... Sorry. Carry on.
No, go ahead. I don't mind.
This is totally an episode of Friends. They don't know that you know that we know that they know that you know.
It's just the one remove. But he doesn't.
So,
yes.
My usual tactic would be hiding from my enemies and then revealing myself only when I'm ready to strike. What you're suggesting is that we don't physically hide, but we're still hiding because they don't know that we, the attackers, are there.
Mentally hiding.
It's just us, the unassuming bystanders, is what they think.
And it's even better if they like you. But you got to do better than that, because you don't pretend very good when you're trying to make people like you. You need to be better at that. It's about being nice and charming and sweet and making people like you, even if you don't like them and even if you don't feel that way. You got to make your face look like it too. You can't just say it and not have your face be doing the same thing.
He'll then lean and look over Eden's shoulder. Do you think Amy's a dragon?
No. Do you?
Because we don't know. And she might know. And we don't know what she knows. And she might know that we don't know.
But she doesn't smell weird.
You're right, I should have realized that. I think I'm gonna stalk Amy.
That's excellent practice. That's excellent practice. You can start with Amy. Start with someone that you already like, right? And then you can work your way up to Airden. And if you can get on Airden's good side, then you can get on anybody's good side. It's easy, eventually. And then it's fun. But remember, we're not ruining these people. So. But imagine it with that kind of end goal.
I see that she's taking a drink. I'm gonna go and invite them to join us at the table.
Go, be charming. Be charming. Be charming.
Yes.
Be nice. Look, show me your face. Show me your charming face. But no. Nope. Too much. Too scary. Too scary. No, just think about like when you're like the moment just before you're gonna stab something. Show me that face. That's better. Okay, all right. Nice and straight. Okay, little less crazy eyes, but you're doing good. You're doing good, right? Okay, and remember, you gotta be friendly. Be friendly. People like when you ask about them. People like when you talk to them. People like when you ask them questions and you seem interested and you care about their lives, right? Remember, you care about their lives. Okay, your face is gone now.
It just sounds so exhausting.
You'll get better at it.
I'll go.
Go practice.
He stands up, strides over towards the table, and sits down gingerly at the table, holding on to the sides of the table as he does so.
Hi, Xander.
Hi, Amy. What are you
What's
drinking?
with the weird face?
Straight in. You look weird.
She has no filter.
I see you're drinking.
Yeah, this is rum and this is vinegar, but Chenniel doesn't like vinegar, I don't think.
Why would you drink vinegar? It's a stupid thing to do.
Try new things. It's fun, right?
Something
Isn't
not
that what
right
makes
about you at all, Amy? Why would you?
Be nice.
He'll cast a glance over at Eden.
Charming.
That was some demon we killed.
Yeah, from what I remember of it. Are you okay?
You notice that he's holding his breath.
I just go.
Entirely unrelated, Airden in the distance will be laughing at a joke that one of the halflings has made, but now Xander's a little paranoid and he looks over his shoulder and sort of glowers.
Are you okay?
We need more drinks. He slams his fist on the table.
I grab hold of his shoulder. And make him sit back down.
Let me this time. I'll go. I'd like to go quickly up to the bar and put down. Well, I don't have written down how much money I have. I think I have 9. I'll put down 2 gold pieces and say, I want at least one of everything, but whatever this is worth. Push it across the table.
Oh my. Well, for traveller's money, that's certainly going to get you quite a few drinks. Are you looking to stay for the night? We have some inn rooms available.
I don't know.
Sleepover party! Sleepover party! Sleepover
Yeah.
party!
Yeah.
Party!
If you could throw in some rooms with it too, that would be.
He'll
great.
pick up the 2 gold pieces and waves one. This one will get you quite a number of drinks for most of the evening. He shakes the other one. This one could do you rooms for the week.
Oh, well, whatever you think. If you want to give me change, you can give me change. If not, I mean, invest in your business.
Oh, well, yes,
Buy
I'll
some
certainly be doing that.
lamps or something. Not that it's not really nice and bright in here already. Just
Yes. I have been looking at doing up the place a little. And, oh, yes. We do get some caravans coming through from time to time, mostly traders wanting to have a try at Tharansari, and some looking to go eastwards towards Summergleam.
Well, there you go. So at least one of everything.
Yes, absolutely. I'll get to it right away. He then pockets the money, starts going past a few people that are like reaching out, trying to grab him and yelling at him and be like, "Hey, where's my drink?" And he just sort of waves them away confidently now. You notice a slight reduction in his hunch as he goes and fetches cups of every size for drinks of every kind. I'll bring them right over. I'll send Egret over.
Thank you. I'll go back over to the table and then just like brush my hands off. There we go. I think we should be all sorted for a while.
Good. Anakis, how long have you had your horns?
I would be over at the other table just like,
Why are you being weird?
I'm not being weird, you're being weird.
I'm not being weird. You're being weird. I want to make an insight check.
Yep.
Or perception. Insight. What would it be?
Insight,
No.
it would be, yeah.
Come on. Oh, bollocks. 9.
You get the sense that he's certainly hiding something, and that his interactions are less than genuine, but that there's no malintent.
Okay. All right. Well, I've had my horns since birth. How long have you had yours?
Since birth.
Yes, well done.
Small talk's not my strong suit, okay? I'm practicing.
I can tell. Why don't you ask someone where they grew up? That could be a good question.
That's a good idea. Chenniel, where did you grow up?
I don't think you'll be able to remember. I think you're trying to talk to a wooden post there.
Oh.
Chenniel just sort of stares at him blankly and blinks. Oh, yeah, I forgot you were born yesterday. Anakis, what about you?
Exactly.
Where were you born? Spawned?
Good question. I get very uncomfortable. And I just sort of say I was born in the woods. In a forest far from here. What about you? Xander?
I'm more interested in other people.
Oh, but I'm really interested in you. What about you?
He'll look awkwardly over at Eden. I don't remember my birth at all, but I remember soon after the fires.
What happened?
I remember my mother yelling at me to hide in the storm cellar. They were all around with torches. The entire village was set ablaze. I refused to go down. I was scared that I would never see them again. I rushed to Mother's room. I flung open the chest at the foot of their bed, and I grabbed their sword. I could barely lift it. Then I wielded it high into the air. I rushed out to give it to Mother. She was already dead, lying on the ground. I dragged that sword for miles. And that's when they found me. Somewhere west of here. I was born somewhere west of here.
Can you remember what it was called? The town?
Rest something. Crow's Rest. Rook's Rest. Something like that.
Right. I'm really sorry, Xander. And I put an arm awkwardly on his shoulder and just pat it.
He doesn't
And I
move or react.
What was your mother called?
Sarah.
Zara.
She
Did you
was-
have any brothers or sisters?
I did. I lost them in the fires. I assume they're dead, along with the rest of my family. I consider myself an orphan.
Okay.
What about you, brothers, sisters?
2. A brother and a sister. Twins. Annoying as hell. But I love them. Despite our differences.
Are they like us?
No. They're not. They're very different.
I often feel like it's some foul demon's cruel trick, transforming us like they did.
Aye. Definitely.
No one looks at you properly. Everyone gives you a wide berth.
Scared of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most people.
Although I didn't have much of it growing up, to be fair. Only from recently. I try not to let it get to me, though.
It's good to find people that don't look at you like you're a monster. And he'll cast a glance unconsciously over at Eden, and then look back towards Anakis and realise that Amy's returned with the drinks and has been for quite a while. Maybe we should include others in the conversation. Amy!
Yeah, let's get Eden over. I've ordered drinks that I think will probably last
Oh,
all
yes.
night by the sounds of what the... I mean, I gave him like 2 gold, so he said that like we have rooms for like a week if we want them.
2 gold in a place like this? Oh,
Well, I don't know how much one of everything is. So...
This place runs on cow skins, bushels of wheat, and copper pieces.
Well, now they don't have to. Now they could renovate. They could have more rooms. They could. It's a good thing for the community. I'm investing in this community and trying new things. Right, Chenniel?
He's still got a foul look on his face that's been frozen on there, and he's just staring at the rum. I think this one's going to bite me too.
Well, let's try it together before our other drinks come.
Eden will be waved over by Xander. Hello. My apologies. Hold on just one moment, guys.
Yeah, I'll wave, me and Xander, I'll wave Eden over. Eden, I've got drinks for hopefully the whole night. You should come and join us.
Don't have to ask me twice.
So Xander was talking about his wife story.
I missed you.
It seems quite sad.
Well, I have to ask. Like, if I was listening, I'm assuming I overheard. Like, I was purposely.
We'll just say.
I'm assuming. Okay, yes. Please don't. Let's not do that again.
I need to go back.
Okay, that's fine. It was very dark, but very dark, very quickly.
So we need to cheer him up. We need to liven this party up.
Close the door, please.
I look around and see if there's any fiddles, and we see a fiddle and a band in the corner.
There's a bard. There's a bard upstairs.
I could go and give him another gold piece to play something.
Oh.
If you got a request? Or...
Can I also, while I'm here, tell Anakis about Mother Harris? And I want to sit like super close to Xander. Too close.
Okay.
Drunkenly close.
Xander has also had a few...
Hand on his leg.
I was
His
going
leg.
Xander reciprocates. Okay, so yeah, you'll describe what you were told by Ogbert about Mother Harris, and you will all realise that the sun has set. There's just the slightest hint of deep blue on the horizon, suggesting that the sun is giving its last light in the distant hills.
Do it.
I'm going, Alex.
What was that,
I'll
Kerry?
explain to Eden.
I was just going to say, have the drinks come?
Oh yeah, the drinks have come.
So we like in the process of getting smashed, right?
Yep.
Like, never have I ever.
Never have I ever let a goblin live.
Amy. Amy's gonna be sober at the end of it. She's like, I'm thirsty. Everyone else is shit face.
So Abby, sorry about that.
I'm going to explain to Eden quietly whilst we're talking about Mrs. Harris about where I'm going tonight, and I think I put two and two together, and I'm like, oh, maybe it is Mrs. Harris that I'm going to see with tinnitus. It'll be stuck. I'm sorry, you've said it. We agreed right at the get-go. It was tinnitus.
Yeah. It is what it
And
is
it's stuck
now.
ever since. I'm sorry. We sort of didn't agree. I sort of forced on the group, and I was like, it's not tinnitus, it's tinnitus.
You say you're sorry.
But you don't look sorry.
Yeah, it's the whole sorry not sorry thing. That it's fine. Tinnitus the elf. All right. So yeah, how does Eden react to Anakis saying that she's going to go and potentially see her tonight?
Are you going by yourself? I mean, with them by yourself.
I think so.
You think that's a good idea?
I don't know, if I'm honest. But what's the worst that could happen?
Do you want to take Enver with you in case anything goes wrong?
Well, I've got Nutkin. I know he's only a squirrel,
Nutkin, Enver
He's
has a
so-
teeny tiny crossbow. It's adorable. Tiny.
but I think I'll be okay.
Okay. You're a grown up. And I believe you. If anything does happen, if you probably scream really loud, we'll probably hear you anyway.
Xander
Hopefully.
will lean in close to Eden's ear and like breathe into it. He thinks he's whispering, but he's not actually making any sound. And then he looks at you and sort of nods.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
And then almost seemingly as loud as he can, he says, "I'm gonna follow Anakis!"
I'm gonna put hand over his mouth, and I will tell.
Yes.
I'll be like, no, he won't. No, he won't. He will not be following you. You will not be following her. You will not be following. Don't worry.
Can I just very loudly now? Because I mean, Amy's like 2 drinks in and she's not drunk before, so
She's also.
slam my glass down the table and go, Eden's gonna keep him busy, right? And like, very hard in the ribs.
Yeah.
Probably bright red. I'm just gonna pick up another drink. I didn't say no. I'm kidding. I don't actually say that. I didn't. That's not out of character. Out of
Yeah.
character.
I'm going to
Alright.
head outside then, seeing as though it's
Yep.
saying as I notice it's sunset.
So inside the tavern, Amy, Eden, Xander, and Chenniel maintain the drinking. More drinks are brought over the course of the evening. Food is brought to you. There's a broth with some dipping bread. There's a special gnome cheese that is brought over to the table, courtesy of Ogbert. And you're also free to go and just take hunks off the hog. It's nearing the harvest festival, so they're celebrating. Outside, Anakis, you are met by just how deep the cold breeze seeps into your skin immediately when you step outside. Like inside, it's been this lovely hearth-heated tavern filled with people. Yes, there's sweat and stale ale and tobacco smoke hanging about in the air, but it was warm, and outside it is chilly. You can tell that it's coming to harvest time. Tinnitus is stood across the way. He is stood by a fence, his hood sort of pulled down, and you can sort of see a slight glint in his eyes as he's looking around. There's a few people drunkenly wandering up the street towards their homes, but other than that, the streets seem deserted.
I head towards him.
Thank you for meeting with me.
Thank you for inviting me.
We're going to visit someone on the edge of town. She has some information that we want to get. I shall lead you to her. And he starts walking along a path, and then at one point the path would continue on towards a farmhouse in the distance. He cuts through a gap in the fence and starts walking through some overgrown footpath. It's little more than just a desire line that's been trodden through these rather thick wildflowers, heading towards a copse of trees. Pushing your way through the trees, you then eventually see a small candlelight in a window. There's a hut that's been built amongst these trees. As you get closer, you see that there are things hanging from the trees, mostly of a sort of druidic weave, charms and symbols to help ward off evil spirits and help encourage Fae to take root here. It doesn't seem like any Fae have. It seems to be more symbolic or hopeful. But you do see that sat outside, enjoying the clear, cool air, is a Tiefling. She has shorn off horns, as if they are flat stumps on the front of her head. She has jet black skin, and she is just rocking slowly back and forth in this rocking chair that she's got on her porch.
Hello.
Daenerys also bows. Greetings. How long has it been since you said a simple hello? She forces her way up to her feet, wanders over to Daenerys and quickly gives his earlobe a quick tug down, which he winces at, but takes. He doesn't retaliate in any form. She then looks at you, looks you up and down. Who are you?
My name's Anakis. I'm from I can't remember the wood that I was from. This is Abby talking now, Drew. Can you? I haven't got it written down.
I've got it written somewhere, but I'd need to go and look it up.
I am from such and such a place.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to run around them parts. Good people.
What sort of people are you aware of from those parts?
Wood elves. What people are you aware of from those parts? Don't tell me
The
the elves
wood
have been
elf.
ousted.
No, the wood elves.
Oh, thank goodness. They were good folk. They were good folk. Daenerys, in you get. Get some soup for the lady. Jeez. Right. Come and take a seat. You're a guest here. Make yourself at home. She goes towards a small pile of fibres. You see that she's made some blankets. She gives them to you. She's got some stools set next to the rocking chair, which she pulls out to sort of make clear you can sit on these. No point ruining a good night sitting inside.
No, definitely not.
Now, Daenerys has got some boring business to be talking about, but he can wait. He's not setting off for a few days yet. Tell me more about you, now. Your name's Anakis. That's an interesting name.
Yes, it was the name the wood elves gave me.
Yes, I see. You do have a look about you. Something that I can't quite put my finger on. You haven't been eating your vegetables. You've been on the road. That's it. Hurry up with the broth, Daenerys. Honestly. Now, I think that beyond the slight emaciated look in your eyes, there seems to be something more burning inside. Question. A series of them.
Yes, there's a lot of questions. A lot of unanswered questions. I don't even know where to start. Tinnitus found me today and I got a telling off. I haven't particularly found an order yet, and I need it for my own sake. But I've been very scared and skeptical about it, and I don't know how I feel about it. I was wondering if you could help me or guide me.
One moment. Daenerys, I seem to have forgotten that I need to hang some honey-synth. Could you? That's good, dear. Thank you. He grabs a basket that's hanging at the front and wanders into the woods. My advice, dear, don't.
Why?
One should always learn that there are times and places for certain things. Certain things are to be learned in their own time. But one thing I won't shy away from is letting you know that finding a circle within the order is not all that important. What's important is making sure that you have support emotionally. That's what drives our magic. The Feyweave is an emotional thing. It is pure want. It just is easy to tap into once you've got that foundation, and easy to control when you've got a solid foundation. When you are with the Druid Order, and in their midst, they can get stuffy sometimes. They can get stuck in their ways. They are only mortal, after all, for the most part, with the exception of the elves, and they won't stop rubbing our faces in it. Anyway.
So where do I go? What's my purpose? Do I just carry on?
Find our purpose. Tell me, what is it that you've done over the past few days? Just the last few days.
Help some friends.
What were you doing, say, a few weeks ago?
Helped my friends.
If you were 20 years older and had to describe the intervening years to a stranger, someone that you're sharing a drink with, what would you tell them? How would you live your life?
Living an adventure with friends.
It seems to me that there's less of a question of where you fit and more of a question of from what cloth you were cut.
But I wish I had the answer to that too. And I don't.
The answers are out there. I did discover a clue to my own heritage before I stopped looking. It stopped being important for me. What I will share is that we are all over the place. There was, for a short time, an attempt made down south. The elves are not a cruel people, but there is a cruelty that comes with immortality. Just like the dragons, some of them can turn bad. Some elves decided that, as part of their slavery trade, they would try to breed a race of Tieflings. Tieflings, the elves would call us. Humans say Tiefling. I don't refer to myself often, and so I accept either pronunciation. Some of them call us demon-born. A family of them. Imagine. Whole family, every generation, would always come out the same. Horns and coloured skin. What I found through exploring this history is that the origins of our kind are perhaps more to do with the world asserting itself than to do with any interference. There may have been a demon at the start of it, but we as a people do not tend that way. More circumstances make us that way. An elf may turn cruel in his own time. A man can be born to cruel circumstances. We tend to bend the latter than the former. I don't think anything could ever make us cruel and unkind. I don't think anything could make us peaceful. We are just as we are. a manifestation of the world asserting itself. There will be an ultimate origin, and that is something I do not know. But I do know that nothing can tell you what you are, Anakis. Nothing can define you but you. How you react to the world around you. A world that you are very much a part of.
You're right. You're so right. I don't believe my mother and father are my mother and father. I was never treated differently, but I've never felt like I belonged. I might have found some answers in the place we were in previously, but unfortunately I didn't have the chance to do that, and that's okay. But part of me really needs to know. If what's happened, if I believe what's happened has happened, I'm angry. I would be angry, and I want to know why. I won't let that anger fuel anything, but I want to know. I want to know where I came from. Just like everybody deserves to know that.
And
my mother
is power.
It's true.
I think that this conversation needs to continue over soup, which, as she shouts into the forest, someone forgot to bring on their way out. She gives you a polite nod, a pat on the hand, and she goes inside to get you soup. And while she does so, I suggest we all go and get soup of our own kind while we go on a break. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us during this episode of Crit It and Hit It. We will go on a brief break, about 10 to 15 minutes, get ourselves a cup of tea, maybe a bowl of soup, and then we shall return to see what happens to the party while they're winding down from this difficult path and learning more about themselves and each other. See you all soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hello everyone, we are back from our break. It took a little bit longer than usual. It was mostly me jumping up and down and complaining about the lack of milk. I have a very, very brown tea and I dislike it. But I shall down it anyway because I'm addicted to caffeine. Yay! Anyway, we have 4 of the 5 nerds that play Crit It and Hit It. I forgot the Bard's Tale, and after the recap just launched us straight into the game. So because of that, to make up for that, we are going to have the Bard's Tale now to sort of bring us back from the break into the game. So Abby, take it away.
It would be good if I unmuted my mic. Here we go. Are you ready, guys? Okay. The story's called My Crimson Guard. Donald always made me work hard when we were training. He pushed me to my physical and mental limits at times. He came into my life when I was 10, maybe, and he told stories of his past, of the elven life he once lived. He talked about how he trained and commanded his armies, and how he became to be known as the Great Crimson Guard. He would tell tales of his training, and training the most noblest of warriors, and slaying the most evil of enemies. But how he came to leave his last life as the Great Crimson Guard was never shared. He never spoke of why he came to the camp. He just turned up one day in search of my mother and father. But ever since that day, he took me under his wing. He trained me to survive without food in the wild. He showed me how to utilize the plants of the forest and speak to the trees. He taught me to read the people and the environment around me, and most importantly, to respect the land around me. I miss him. I miss seeing him every day. I miss my best friend. Finito.
That was really good.
Short and sweet.
We left Amy and Eden in a tavern while Anakis met up with Taneris and met Old Mother Harris in her small hut at the edge of town. Old Mother Harris has gone to go and fetch some soup for Anakis, while Taneris has been sent out to go and pick some flowers. Amy and Eden, along with Xander and Chenniel, and Airden, although Airden has broken off to go and play games with halflings, they have all been drinking. Chenniel less so than the others, but he's still been partaking of the occasional drink.
I've been encouraging him.
Yeah, he'll have gone.
It's like a trying each one together.
Yeah, he's not stopped at the first rum, but he's still hesitant. So yeah, with Amy's encouragement, he'll be drinking too. Eden and Xander downing their drinks. And the evening's starting to wear on. The lute player has started to sound like he might actually be good, which Xander has identified as the time where maybe it's time to stop drinking. He proposes that everyone retire to the inn chambers that Amy's secured, and then he proposes a toast for Amy getting everyone rooms.
I accept the toast, and then I say, but there was one problem. One problem.
What's the problem?
I mean, I could only get... Wait. I could only get 4 rooms. That means, Anakis and Airden. They're probably going to have their own rooms. There's only 2 more rooms, and there's 4 of us. So probably me and Eden should bunk together, right? Girls, like, boy, you boys are probably...
I have a proposal. That because Chenniel is boring, I think And he stands to his feet and wobbles slightly. I think that I will bunk with Airden.
No, I don't want his own room. Like, honestly, I don't want his own room.
I'm making friends. I will make him make friends.
Just look. I will look. We'll me and Chenniel will take one of the rooms, and you and Eden take one of the rooms. I don't want his own room. I've seen what he's like on like the carts. He just like he likes the space. You and Eden take one of the rooms.
She's kind of right. He's a dick about sleeping.
I will go into Eden's room and we're going to sleep.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Can I nudge Eden and then actually whisper and say, "There was actually plenty of rooms. You're welcome."
What's that?
I just drunk Amy. It's like I don't
I like drunk Amy. Drunk Amy is cool.
It's like 6 drink Amy. Have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Maybe not 6 drink, maybe like 4 drink where she befriends everybody. No, because she's friends with anybody. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, and then I'll stand up and be like, "Come on, Chenniel, let's go and find you some pajamas."
Chenniel stands entirely upright, his hair like skimming the rooftop. Because you're underneath the mezzanine bit. I will wear pajamas.
Can we go to leave, but can I pat a hand on Xander, and I'd like to, now I don't know how much this really works, but I'd like to push some lay on hands into him, which removes the poison or disease, and pull enough poison out so that he's not quite as drunk as he is. Still a little bit like tipsy, but not like he's probably going to go pass out upstairs kind of drunk.
Okay.
Amy is the best.
Right?
What a wingman.
It's like
We love drunk Amy.
like
What a wing woman.
I do like 3 lay on hands, so he's still like tipsy and
Yeah, I think
gone,
rather than the full 5. Yeah.
it's still.
Yeah, make it 3. And he'll immediately sort of like correct his posture. He'll stop like tugging at his tunic that he was wearing as if he was overly warm, and just look around a little confused for a moment, and then remember, we have a room.
Don't worry. And then can I do what's it called? Mask of Many Faces, and then turn into Airden.
I feel like that's turned it into something else.
Where is this going? What is this? I did not down this.
I think I did lay hands on the wrong person. Oh my gosh, shit.
You said you wanted to
turning into something started.
You said you wanted to share a room with Airden.
Oh God. Oh, but Jesus. We got any viewers, or if we scared them all away?
He will grab Eden's waist roughly, pull her in close, and then whisper into her ear, "There's enough playing out here, lady."
Okay, I'm gonna drop that. Okay.
And he will then take you by the hand and lead you towards the rooms.
Can I bring a couple drinks with me?
Yes.
One drink?
Ogbert starts making gestures if he doesn't want drinks taken into the rooms, but then he realizes that you're with Amy and is like, yeah, best not to mess. Right, so Eden and Xander return to their chambers, or turn into their chambers. Amy and Chenniel, you've stood also retiring to chambers?
Yeah, I'll say to him, can I also do the same to both me and him, because I have enough to take 3 off both of us, so that it's like
Okay.
a little bit back more. And then say, I don't think we need a watch tonight, but if you still wanted to stay up and talk, I'd enjoy that.
We can talk.
Okay, let's go. Are you okay sharing the room? If you don't want to, I'm sure I could work something out, but...
I am very comfortable sharing a room with you, Amy.
Okay. Let's go.
And he follows behind you to the room. As soon as the door is closed, he's then just standing by the door. You can see him like roll his shoulders, clench and unclench his fists. I will sleep standing here.
What? What?
There is only one bed, large though it may be.
Sleep standing up? How can you sleep standing up? You can't get like a nice long rest from standing up.
I used to do it regularly. Granted, I haven't done so in this form. Do you
Humans
never
need-
sleep standing up?
No.
Oh. I will try and lie down. He will then awkwardly sit on the end of the bed and sort of lay himself down and swivel.
I will lie kind of awkwardly down next to him, looking up at the ceiling.
He'll place his hands on his chest.
But we were going to talk, right?
Yes, we can talk.
Okay. Look, what? And I roll so like I'm lying on my stomach, like resting my chin on my hands with like my legs in the air, like girl kind of like what happened? Down there, down in the pit. Don't give me like the world's history. Between me getting up from my knees to you was that.
I have been considering how much you'll be able to handle knowing. I don't think that all of the information right away would be suitable. I think it might terrify you into taking actions that would be unwise. You enacted a transformation. A part of yourself came to the fore and took over. It fought against Zagrel and helped to wound him sufficiently so that Eden might finish him off. You were able to do this because of who you are, and who you are to me. You are not of this place.
Well, where do you think I'm from? I mean, this. I've been here my whole life. I mean, I don't remember being a baby, but
It is true you have been here your whole life, but you existed before. You have been missing for a great amount of time. It might be best if we make a pilgrimage. I think I need to show you where you're from, for you to truly understand.
okay. Where is this pilgrimage to?
Far to the north and then east. I tried to find any writings that I could while we were in Tharansari. There was very little opportunity to do so, but that seems to be where it is. It's a place that will have a great many answers for you. It will reveal a lot, but in a way that I feel will be more palatable to a mortal mind. Just hearing the facts spoken by another won't convey the same information.
Okay. I mean, that kind of how far? Because we have stuff, we have things here to do.
I understand Eden wants to stop Merca Edel and his army from marching northwards, and that Anakis might also have an interest in stopping that because she is connected to some crystal.
Mhm.
But you, Amy, you weren't supposed to be here. I didn't want you to be here.
Then why am I here?
I want you to see where you're from and realize that you should go back there. With me.
Okay. And what about Begazul? Because you say I'm not supposed to be here, but then, like, the priests, they say I'm supposed to defeat him.
What was the prophecy?
I read it, I guess. Paraphrase.
You don't need to read it verbatim. It is odd that these prophecies are often worded in a way that makes it unclear what exactly to do. They're not a good instruction.
What do you think it means?
I do not know.
But you know of Begazul. You came and that was almost the first thing you said to us.
Yes. I know that he has targeted you and your group. That he knows that you are approaching artifacts and concepts that he himself also covet. I think perhaps that as you were nearing Tharansari and getting close to the Feyblade, that he was increasing his activities. Thankfully, you were able to stop his possession of Xander. That seems to have slowed him somewhat.
But Xander says that he always comes back, and we have the Feyblade now. So, chances are he will come back and take it, right? I'll try.
If Begazul returns, Xander is a prime candidate for his
vessel. It may be that Xander at some point will become possessed again and try and take the Feyblade. Eden is a very capable woman. I don't doubt that she'll be able to keep a hold of the blade.
What was... You said that he had made a deal with a god. What?
The god of judgment. He maintains all contracts made between beings. Mortal contracts don't tend to have the importance that this god demands. Those of a grander significance, dragons, demons, that kind of being, things that can live a very long time. They tend to be contracts that attract his attention, and he maintains them to the letter. It just so transpires that there was an agreement made between our people and his, and you were the first person to fulfill those criteria. Now Begazul wants to claim on the agreement, and I wish to stop him.
You said he wants you to be his bride?
Bride is perhaps too nebulous a form for this concept to take. It's more that he wants to corrupt you, to make you work for him, to make you one of his kind. If he manages to do that, it then fulfills the contract, and he then has power over our people, a power that I would rather he not have. Unfortunately, everyone else thinks that because the agreement was made in good faith, that we would betray our principles by trying to weasel out of it.
So it's like when a royal family weds their daughter to another royal family to create like an ally with them.
Of a sort, yes.
And then they use that alliedness to take control, I guess.
I imagine that since it seems that Zagrel may have had some kinship with Begazul, being his bastard offspring, maybe he was trying to do the same thing with Eden. By taking the form of Elerical, he was trying to enact some twisted version of the ritual that his father was trying with you.
Okay. So, what do you know about Ayala, the Blood Queen?
I know very little that has not been made plain from our travels together. I know that she was once a mortal woman and has since gained immortality and is now essentially a goddess to these cultists. Whether or not she truly has the power of a god is unclear. I suspect she's perhaps just a powerful sorceress. They can extend their lives for a great deal of time and even have power over death.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't want to be corrupted. So, I guess we pilgrimage to this place that you talk about. We work out what's going on with that because, like to be honest, Chenniel, me not remembering what's happened isn't overly a new thing. There are a few blank spots. I just kind of, waved it off as lack of memory from childhood times, but, I mean, I'm, hold on, like 23 or something. And I mean, these blank spots are, right up through my teens, and so it's a little bit wishy-washy to be still saying it's lack of childhood memory, but I mean, they do say people repress things sometimes. Yeah, it's not overly new. And then the priest, I mean, that we found down in the pit.
Deliperius, yes. He had a disturbing tale to tell.
I have no idea what he was talking about. Honestly, I don't. All I have is happy memories with him. But like I say, I mean, there are blank spots.
Perhaps he was simply taking advantage of these blank spots. He also cast aspersions on Eden. And Eden seems to be perhaps one of the most trustworthy people in the group.
I mean, you're right, I would trust Eden with my life now. I mean, we traveled together and saved each other on many occasions. I mean, I feel like his mind was twisted and he was manipulated into thinking things maybe, but it's hard not to question things when you don't remember bits, and then you're all talking of transformations and Airden was talking about wings. Let's try and pilgrimage to this place and go from there and try and get whatever sword it is we need. That's as far as I can think about it right now, I think.
I'm glad. It is difficult for me while you are in this form. I have had feelings that don't belong to Amy. They belong to Amriel. But I find it difficult to distinguish between the two of you with you in this form.
I mean, the other thing has crossed my mind too, but who knows if that's me or this Amriel person, I guess, if that's how this will work. But...
He rolls over onto his side, leans in close, and he places one hand on your cheek. We will have to work it out together.
Yeah.
I am scared to move over to Eden's room this evening, so...
What's that supposed to mean? Was this like you do one demon, you're going to do them all? I'm offended. I'm offended. That was one time for a good reason.
Eden is loving life tonight. Loving it.
Just hear the Pointer Sisters in the background now. Okay, before we do touch base with Eden and Xander, we are going to go to Anakis, just as a palate cleanser.
I feel like she's the only one in this group that could ever cleanse a palate. I feel like even Airden would get involved with sordid things. I feel like Anakis is just not It's not even. No.
Right, so
Oh.
Anakis will have been speaking with Old Mother Harris for the last few hours. Daenerys will be getting visibly impatient, but Old Mother Harris keeps him in check, occasionally sending him off to go and do the odd task here and there. But during the course of the conversation, you learn a bit about her past. She was with the Druid Order for a while, for a great number of years, and then she did discover something about the Druid Order that made her less comfortable with not only their methods, but their mission. But she could never bring herself to oppose them outwardly, and so she still helps them from time to time. But even when Daenerys isn't there within earshot, she still feels uncomfortable sharing what that is. And she says that that's not her place to say. And that if she were to say, it would just scare you off wanting to have anything to do with them.
I feel like I really want to know now. That's like a dark, dark secret that... Oh! Can I persuade her? Will she tell me? Well, she's not going to tell me.
It's certainly going to annoy Kerry if I let you roll a dice, so yeah, go on then.
Oh, 5.
The only one rolling dice tonight. Roll bad.
She's telling me nothing. And Kerry is jealous.
She doesn't reveal any more, but she does eventually share information with Daenerys. She reveals what she knows of this death cult.
I was just going to ask her.
She reveals to both you and Daenerys that the death cult is definitely taking root. She still keeps tabs in a few places. She's got a few contacts, and the cult is rearing up in a few cities. She last heard that there was an envoy sent to Tharansari to go and entreat with the population of Untrathar, which she's also heard has had a bit of a shake-up. She understands that there's no solid leadership there anymore, whereas there used to be. And so that's sort of halted the progression of this cult, because they've not had any influential members sort of gain access. They did manage to convince whoever was in charge of Untrathar, who she doesn't know, to join the cult. And so he was a member, but he didn't get a chance to have it take root. So as far as she knows, that's the end of the cult in the city. But that the army that travelled through the village recently, she's fairly convinced that they have a sizable contingent there, and that they're up to no good. They're looking to find an artifact, something in a temple that will act as a key, something to unlock the tomb of Ayala. It's supposedly buried in an ancient shrine or tomb of hers, and when taken to the place where she is enshrined, it'll enable her to come alive again.
Does she know where the tomb is?
She knows where the tomb where Ayala is kept, yes.
Yeah, where is it?
She'll be able to direct you towards it. She says that it's a bit further north. It's near the river. And by a bit further north, she further points out that it's about a fortnight's travel. It's through dense woodland. And it's also past where the dwarves have made their home.
Sorry, I'm just writing this down.
It's alright.
Past dwarf's home.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnight's travel, past dwarf's home. What else? There's another thing.
Near the city.
North direction.
Not near the city, near the river.
Near the river.
Yep. I'm just going to pull up that river's name.
Okay, cool. Okay. I tell her that she's been more than helpful. And we will, my own order, will try and deal with the Ayala situation if we can.
There we go. So she says that it's on the River Cinder, near the city of Borderhut. That's where it is. Far to the north.
Cool. I feel like I've got all the information I could out of old Mrs. Harris.
Before you and Daenerys leave, she goes into her house and brings out 2 wreaths. One she places over the head of Daenerys, and then she runs her fingers along a couple of the leaves at the base of it and sort of fluffs it up around his neck. You look charming, dear. And then she puts the other one around Anakis' neck, and again straightens out a few of the leaves, and grabs your upper arms and just sort of rubs them slightly, making sure that you're all set for your journey out. It has been lovely meeting you.
I let Ed. I beckon Nutking to come out of my jacket, and I just sort of say, "It's been lovely to meet you too," and see if she wants to stroke Nutking.
She does. She holds her hand out and strokes his head gently. He's lovely. Oh. She then lets him return to you. If you do find your way into some trouble, just keep that wreath with you.
Okay. What does it do?
I think that that's something that I need to speak to you personally about. Daenerys, dear, would you mind just jogging on a bit? Good lad. She then pulls some of the leaves apart to reveal that there are some holly berries throughout this wreath that she's put around your neck. Each of these can provide you food for a whole day. If you are ever in dire need, just consume them. They'll grow back. This is an endless supply of food for you. And I've also given it a little bit of a kick. If you need to, you can contact me. Just set this down under the light of a moon, and I'll hear you.
Okay. Thank you. It means a lot.
Us girls got to stick together. Now, off you go. You've had my soup. You've taken my lovely starlight. I'm going to go and settle down for bed.
Good night, Mrs. Harris.
Good night, Anakis. Good night, Daenerys. He doesn't return a shout at all. He just stands awkwardly between some trees waiting for Anakis. And when Anakis walks up to him, what was that about?
Nothing particular. Come on, let's go.
And he nods and follows behind you for a moment before he realizes that he's following along behind you. And he doesn't do anything to change that, but you can tell he's a little uncomfortable with how easily you managed to get him to do that. So yeah, he'll follow you back into the village. He'll point out that he and the other druids have taken to camping outside of the village. They don't want to mingle too much with the locals, and that he'll still be around for the next few days. They'll be gathering supplies and what other intel they can gather, but he's going to talk it over with the other druids before he decides what he's going to do with that information. Whether he's going to go and see if there's any remnants down south, if he wants to try and follow this army. He's not sure yet.
Well, come and find me. We're staying at the tavern. If you need to talk. I feel like we both have some information. We're just not sharing it with one another.
That tends to be the way of our people. In the morning.
Right. Daenerys.
He will turn and walk away. As he does so, you note that despite his usual stoicism, when he's walking, he's running his hand along the top of the fence post, which is a little more playful than he's let on before. And as he's doing so, the occasional night flower is growing a little taller and opening up again as he's wandering past.
I smile to myself. I say, he's killing no one. He's a softie.
Right. The tavern itself has started quietening down. It's now mostly quiet, candlelit conversations and the occasional in-depth game going on. There's a hand of poker. The dwarves have mostly fallen asleep at the table that they were at. There are a couple of them still talking over each other and shouting and pointing at the map. One of them has the beard dipped into the beer stein as they're sleeping on the table. But apart from that, the tavern seems to be empty. Amy, Chenniel, Airden, and Xander are nowhere to be seen. Airden is currently at the poker table, enjoying a hand. He sees you come in, he just sort of gives a quick wave and then gets back to the game at hand.
I go over. How are you doing?
He's looking intensely at some cards. I am going to be winning soon. How are you doing?
Not with that hand, you're not. I'm alright. Don't you think it's time for bed?
In a bit. I think I've got these guys on the ropes. I raise, and he throws a few wooden blocks that they're using as chips towards the middle of the table, and a few more rounds go round, and eventually he loses his entire stack.
Come on, you star loser.
I nearly won a pig. He's a pig farmer.
A pig? What were you going to do with a pig?
I could do a lot. A pig?
Walk it.
Could do with a mascot.
Oh yes, whilst you're trying to defeat some demons. Come on, Mr. Pig. Let's go. I don't think so.
You've got Nutkin with you. He comes along with us.
He's a lot smaller than a pig.
Could have been a small pig. We don't know. Alright. I need to go and sleep this booze off anyway. I feel my senses are dulled. I've got a horrible feeling that Xander's going to wake up in the morning and, I don't know, hunt something. I think I need to get up earlier than him.
What is it with this macho competition between the two of you?
Not macho. Just he's obviously not a good guy, is he? Demons crawling all up inside him. There's something not right with that lad.
Say you. You're not exactly the goodest of the good, are you?
It's a common family trait for our blood to set fire to swords. family thing.
A family thing, right? Okay, whatever.
He gets jeered from the table as the halfling that's hoarded all of these wooden chits asks Airden to join the table anytime that he's willing to lose some money. Airden dutifully coughs up the gold that he's lost and follows you to the rooms.
I head upstairs. I assume there's a room for me somewhere.
Yes, Ogbert will have Egret show you guys to your rooms. You see that you pass one door, which is half ajar, and there's a dwarf asleep with one boot off, one boot on, snoring loudly. The next door, she points out, your friends are in this one, and she points 3 doors down, and that one. So you know that Amy, Eden, Xander, and Chenniel are in the 2 rooms either side of Anakis and Airden's. And Airden...
I feel like I need to flip a coin. I really don't know which one I'm going in right now. I say to her, which one did the blonde one go in?
She points to the first one. This one.
Alright, okay. Can I have another room?
Yes, we have plenty available.
I flip her a gold coin.
Were you wanting me to shave a bit off?
No, have it pay for everybody's food.
Yes, absolutely, madam. Is there anything else that I can do for you? Some cleaner sheets, perhaps?
That would be nice, but it's not it's not a necessity.
Yeah, if you do need anything, just ask for Egret. She gives a quick curtsy, and then she leans in close and whispers, "And I mean anything."
Thank you, Egret. I'm going.
Well,
thank you, Egret. I'm going to bed.
Not Xander, Airden, sort of leaning half against his door, will lean towards Egret. You know, I could do with some company. I'm sure you could, dear. And she wanders off.
I smack his arm. You foul beast.
She said anything.
Behave.
Fine. See you in the morning, Anakis.
Good night.
And he wanders into the room that's right next to Eden and Xander.
Oh, you're going to get a great night's sleep tonight, pal.
Anakis's room is a little further down the hall and across from them.
Cool. Nice one.
Cool.
I go to bed. Long rest.
Yeah. You can all heal hit points.
Woo!
So, Laura, are we going to pick up before or after?
we'll just go to after. This is a family game, all right?
We're all at 6. We're up after.
This is a family game.
Yep. Okay. Xander is there with another couple of drinks that he asked to be delivered to the room, which he did, and offers you one of the wines that they had on offer. I found this one to be very enjoyable.
Yeah, remember which number this was. Was this the first wine or the second one or the third? How many kinds were there?
There was only one kind of wine.
One?
Yeah, they had only one type of wine, but loads of different kinds of like rum and liqueur and
2 glasses.
yes.
Same wine. 2 glasses. There we go. There we go.
So yeah, obviously the wine. I have been thinking more about what we discussed. I think it would be good for me to shadow you for a while and see how you operate things. I remember Zagarel mentioning that he'd done something to your reputation up north. That there was
Yeah.
somewhere he visited. Were you going to go?
If I'm allowed in the city, I suppose I should.
What are we going to do about Merca?
Short story, find him and kill him. Long story, don't know.
Well, Anakis can move us around quickly enough. We should maybe meet the army on the way.
Like, surprise them?
Those cultists that we found when you found me, they were part of that army. And Begazul wanted to help them in some way. When I was him, I was helping them with something, gathering pieces. I think that it's worth putting a stop to that as quickly as possible. I want to stop whatever it was that I did and helped. Merca's just there. We could divide our attempts. I could go to the army, deal with the cult, and maybe Merca too, while you go and see what Zagrel did. I don't know. I've never worked with someone before.
I can tell. It's okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm only slightly worried about what he actually did, but I have strings, I guess. If I end up in prison, that'll um but hopefully it won't be that bad.
He kneels up on the bed, trying to appear protective of you as he tries to make himself bigger. And he'll place a hand that goes towards your face, but then he lowers it towards your shoulder and transforms what would have been a comforting romantic gesture into more of just general camaraderie, as though he's still unsure of how he sits with you in the relationship. If you were ever taken anywhere, trapped anywhere, I would find you. I would gut whatever put you in there.
That's really sweet. Oh, I mean, hopefully it won't come to that. But if you want to go see the army, and I can go to the city and then meet back in the middle.
I'll share with you everything I learn. I'm going to practice what you've taught me, Eden. I know tonight, with all the drinking, it wasn't my best effort.
It wasn't your worst. people also like honesty and vulnerability. It makes them feel like they can trust you more. So I don't think it was a complete flop. Maybe half a flop. Minor flop. Some flopping.
He will then smile in a charming way, and then his eyes will sort of light up a bit. He'll look out the window. It's still dark. And he will lean in close and roll over with you. And the morning dawns. Everyone is awake after an evening's rest. And breakfast down in the tavern is toast or untoasted bread with some local dairy butter. And
I think untoasted bread is just bread. I'm just throwing that out there.
That's a good point.
We usually just call it bread.
There's some bread and there's some toast.
It is just bread.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
So I feel like Amy and Chenniel are probably like the first ones up because Amy gets up and does her whole like dawn ceremony every morning. Like the second the sun reaches the horizon. So yeah, I will be sat downstairs waiting for everyone to show up.
Chenniel will leave the room, close the door gently behind him, and follow you down to the main dining area. As he sits down next to you and sees that no one else is around, he looks to his left, looks to his right, and then he leans in and gives you a quick peck on the cheek. Then Airden will stagger out, yawning, stretching.
Coming, Airden! Shout very loud right next to him. There's toast or untoasted bread. What are you feeling?
Right now I'm feeling needles in my head.
No, I'd take it away for you, but I've rested and we've got a whole day ahead of us. I mean, I'm sorry, like, best friends and everything, but I'm not taking your hangover away.
I'm a little concerned. I'm not wearing the same socks that I was.
You sexy when it's not him. Oh, that's a shame.
Anyway, what's for breakfast? Toast?
Or untoasted bread.
Untoasted bread.
It doesn't get less funny. It hasn't gotten any less funny.
Untoasted bread. So bread, yeah, bread.
Ed will also point
Ed's
out.
not clicked on. Ed is too hungover.
Okay, he's not clicked on then. Untoasted bread.
It comes, he's like, where's my untoasted bread? No, untoasted bread.
He'll sit down and just eat whatever's put in front of him. Ogbert, looking extremely tired, is there just wiping the last of the spillage from the top of the bar. There's a small boy with a mop that you've not seen before, mopping up the spills from the floor. And some of the dwarves have started rousing. They're getting up and looking into their tankards, drinking the dregs. And the one that had his beer dipped in the stein, his beard dipped in the stein, just wrings it out back into the tankard and downs it.
Lovely. What a pleasant place we found ourselves in. Different cultures we come across every day.
Oh.
Very loud and very happily.
I can hear Airden rolling his eyes. I can hear it. I'm not in the room, but like somewhere Airden is rolling his eyes.
Is that what wakes Eden up?
Oh.
Anakis, I'm sure will awake at some point.
Yeah.
Xander will be awake, and he's there looking through the room. When Eden wakes up, he's halfway dressed, but he doesn't look like he's getting dressed. He's still looking around in the room, like opening drawers to the drawers that were there, looking inside the cupboard that was set up. There's fairly fine rooms. They've got 2 cupboards, a chest of drawers, and a decently made bed. I can't find my daggers anywhere.
Dagger.
Did you check on the inside of your coat and the outside?
I've checked there, and my socks are missing.
Socks.
No. You have no daggers and no socks.
Maybe someone took the socks to wrap the daggers in. Dun, dun, dun.
Someone else isn't wearing their socks.
Do we not lock the door?
I thought we did.
I thought we did.
It's no matter. I can find more daggers. I need food.
Those were your favorites.
They were so precious to me.
We'll get you new ones, better ones, pointier ones.
Yes, we were talking about the daggers. He'll sorrowfully put on his boots without socks and make his way out to the main room with everyone else. So yes, while you're all in the room together, Airden sort of holding his head. Okay. I remember we came in, and I remember playing a hand of dominoes, and I learned a new game, and that was it.
Idea that Dan's going to come back and Eden has no memory of this episode. The blank spot in his memory. What happened in the tavern?
I thought it was fitting.
Pat him on the shoulder and just be like, "It's okay. It happens. Don't worry about it." So everyone's here now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is our plan next? Because we could do with knowing where we're going. So we've got the army and this blood cult thing, and Chenniel mentioned somewhere that he and I need to go on a pilgrimage to as part of my faith. That I would like to do if it perhaps coincides with some of our other plans. That would be great. Anakis.
You've gone.
Who?
Kerry, we can't hear you.
No. Oh.
I do not know. Headphones. What about your headphones?
Oh,
there you
no,
go. You're back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Literally nothing happened. Nothing changed. Weird. Okay, where did I get to?
Pilgrimage. And if there's something on the way.
Yeah, so if that coincides. And then I said, Anakis, what did you find out last night? You came back in one piece, I can see.
Yes, she's Mrs. Harris is very, very, I think, keen for me to find my own path, but also very keen for us to maybe, or Tinnitus is at least, to go find this army.
Okay. So you want to go find
Or goes the crystal. I think
the original crystal?
Ti-
Or where we sent it to? Didn't we send it, like, its power somewhere else? But they're still going.
no, I think this is a different crystal, isn't it, Drew? Or is it the same one?
They're heading towards the same crystal. Yes, you transferred the power, but the Elven army isn't aware of that.
Yeah.
So
We've sent them on a goose chase.
Essentially, yes. But there was also the worry from Summergleam that if the elves got there and found that there was no power, the army has marched, they may as well do something, and the human settlement of Summergleam is on ancient elven grounds. They might see that as an opportunity to open up old wounds.
So is it worth us going to Summergleam first to warn the people?
Chenniel will suggest that while sticking together is something that would benefit each task on its own, that there's too much for everyone to do, and that as much as he dislikes the idea of weakening any one effort, that dividing the efforts would probably be best. Hearing everything that's needing to go on, he suggests that perhaps Anakis and Daenerys join Xander in going to see the Elven army, while Eden has a word with the other Elven city and see what damage Zagrel has actually wrought, and see if she can find out anything more about Zagrel, his plans, and what he's put into motion, which might lead to more information about Begazol and why he was helping the cult in the first place, while Chenniel takes Amy on this pilgrimage to help her with her discoveries. Xander nods in loose agreement, but is insistent on when and how everyone will meet up together again, because while everyone's going off and doing their own thing, they still need to coordinate. Xander not having worked in a team before, he doesn't know how they're going to do that. You're silent again.
You've gone, Kerry.
I'm really sorry.
We don't know what you're saying.
Do you want to type it out and I can read it?
Well, where am I going to?
There you go.
Oh, you're back.
We just heard you.
Oh my god! What's this problem? Okay. I was trying to say, Chenniel, where is the town that we're going to, or the pilgrimage? Like, where is that? Does it have a name?
It is far away.
Okay, does it have a name? I don't care how far it is. Give me a name before my mic cuts out again. Go on, Chenniel. Time crunch here.
He tells you the name of a nearby city. He tells you that it's basically a few months' journey away.
Oh.
Okay, Anakis, can you get us there quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
I assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. There'll be ley line portals.
I'll
there.
do my Doctor Strange thing.
Okay. So potentially, me and Anakis can send me and Chenniel there. How do we get back? How would we let you know that we need to come back?
That is the question. I do not have the answer. Do you know? I don't know.
Could you not send like an? Is this possible for you to send like an animal messenger to Amy and then to return to you, like a bird or something that flies really quickly, and then?
It was still month's journey would still take a bird like.
There are druids worldwide. It could be that, given that there's a group of druids that Daenerys is with, and that the plan is to
that is true.
Sort of align some of the party's goals with the druids, that one of the druids might be willing to accompany Amy and Chenniel, and maybe even accompany Eden to help bamf people around.
Yeah, that is very true. I could maybe speak to Tinnitus and ask him to help.
Okay. How does Eden feel about this plan?
That's fine.
Split up? Where's Eden?
It's okay.
What?
Airden is nursing his head and groaning on the table. He will lift his head to start paying attention. I'm sorry, what? What's...
And Airden will pick his destination.
Who do you want to, where do you want to go, Airden?
I don't know. Send me wherever everyone else is going. Wherever everyone else is
Let's
going.
send him with Xander, because BFFs. Okay, we'll work out. Yeah. So, all right. So we maybe the best thing to do would be to try and set us like a time limit on each place, and then we meet back up at one place. And if someone doesn't arrive within their time slot, then something has probably gone wrong. Yeah.
So the plan for this, because this is the episode that's basically at the end of this bit of arc, the plan is for the next session to just so you know my ideas, and feel free to go the other way on this if you would prefer. But my idea is that we basically time skip to just the end of these individual pilgrimages, so you are back together again at the start of the episode and get to discuss the immediate results. Not everything will necessarily be entirely resolved, but you'll have more information to go on. The occasional thing will be dealt with, and then you can more cohesively decide where to go and what to do, and we'd have Daniel's input as well as Airden. The other way that we could do this is, starting next session, we do it kind of like we did with this pub episode, spending a roughly 10 minutes each on each person, and just skipping between each person's missions.
Because I just worry about like losing some good content, like skipping over some of, like hand waving some of it.
A lot of these things are interesting things to go into. I do like that's why I'm not saying no to that other option.
I feel like a short one-to-one session might be good, even if it's only like half an hour. Not next week, not next session, but before then.
Yeah.
I don't know what would fit them in half an hour.
I could try and make some time for that. Yeah.
Do you think?
We'll
discuss this on.
Yeah.
So everyone else doesn't have to listen.
We will let you know, people.
Technicalities.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll decide like we're gonna split up and kind of retcon and stuff. So how long should we give? Eden, how long do you think you're gonna need in the city that you're going to? Because yours is probably the one that I'd be most worried about it going wrong.
Yeah, but I don't plan on going in as myself. So, I mean, originally that won't be an issue. And the rest of it depends on how or what Lurgas did. I don't know.
Yeah. I suppose with Eden, it's the most unknown.
If he was stealing stuff, that's one thing. If he went around murdering people, that's another.
Well, let's go with the most possible havoc he could have caused. Let's go with the worst possibility. So how long do you think you would need to clean up him portraying you as mass murdering a lot of people in town?
Yeah, well, that's a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder to get out of, isn't it?
So, are you going to go in and try and solve it, or are you just going to try and scope out what he did and then?
I suppose. I don't know how obvious it. Like, was he standing in the street murdering people? Is there any way I could create doubt that this was me in the first place? Or
I mean, so perhaps we should say that if you need to go in and perhaps actually enact something, how long would that take you to do? Like a couple of days, a week, longer than that? What
That would be very much up in the air, dependent.
I mean, it's in character. In character.
Yeah. Like in character, that will be like usually an unknown thing. I'd say Amy's.
Yeah, but I'm literally just trying to be like, how many days till we meet up? So we think, right, you've been a week. Something's probably gone wrong. We should probably go look for you. That's all I'm trying to work out.
All right.
But
I don't think we need to think about that though. Like,
well,
I think if we are gonna split, we're not gonna know until we're doing.
Well, no, we're not. But usually when you split up a team, you say, right, give me an hour. If I'm not back in an hour, call the police. You know, like it's just a precaution.
A week.
Max a week apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without any sort of contact.
Yeah.
Try and get contact back to each other within a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Bonza. Airden will still be a little confused, dazed, and just crunch on some toast. I wanted non-toasted bread. And
after a piece of toasted bread.
Untoasted bread, if you know.
If you put it in between two pieces of toast, it's like an untoasted toast
sandwich.
Yeah.
My brain's trying to wrap my head around that. Okay. With everyone getting ready to split up, Daenerys will enter with the Druids. They'll discuss the details. The dwarves in the corner will continue their argument from the night before. Ogbert sighing deeply and mentioning that they've been there for a week. They have not moved. And with it being the morning, the pipe smoke having died down an awful lot and things starting to get cleaned, you can smell that they've been there for a week. The town outside, you see some bunting getting put up, ready for this harvest festival. The growing sound of people outside. And the sun looks ever so bright, piercing through the clouds. A strange sight to behold, given that you're all going to go your own separate ways, be alone for the first time in a long time, and some of you going into potentially dangerous and ominous situations. But still, for the time being, things are happy for just a moment.
Now that sounds.
If we plan to split up and then next week it's going to be like,
TPK.
dragon ruins the town. Yeah, plan's over.
We're all dead, queer and it's finished. Bye, guys.
We'll end the session there. We are close to our end time anyway. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's been an interesting episode. I've been scared a couple of times. But yeah, that was really good. Oh, it's fine. We're near the end. We're near the end. Just Abby and Laura swapped sides. I'm shifting you around again. Stop swapping sides.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. You'll be able to see this up on Twitch immediately. It will be uploaded onto YouTube within the next few hours. And as always, try and look out for it on iTunes, the podcast being edited and whatnot. May take a little longer than usual, depends on what's going on Daniel's end with the cat. But we'll keep you all posted. Pay attention to our social media stuff for updates on this sort of thing. And we'll see you next time. See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye. And we go.
Untoasted bread.
you